Do you see it?
Nope. Ah!
Get him, Logan.
Oh, you're so far away. And then just load it in the back. That'd be funny if that happened during the video. Coco, you interrupted her train of process.
Yeah. And that's fine.
Okay. You're. Hi, I'm Laksh.
Hi, I'm Maggie.
Welcome back to our channel. Today we're doing something completely different. Typically we talk about a concept or a topic, but over the last few months, as we've been pouring out these videos, a lot of friends and family have been asking us specific questions. What is spirituality? How to do it? So today we thought we'd do a Q&A session rather than just discuss every topic in detail. So to get the first topic started, it is, what is spirituality?
So I would define spirituality as my belief, and the way I would exactly define this is we are just spiritual beings having a human experience. So I guess you can say instead of a religion, this is just me in tune with the earth and connected with the spiritual world around us, right? So like you can get signs, you can get messages from birds, you can get it. It's literally just being connected, so connected within yourself and the people and energies around you.
Yeah, it's to me, it's a way of living. Like Maggie says a lot, it's a lot of connection. An example she gives all the time to people is the pull of the moon affects the tides here, right? The waves. Everything is more connected than we think. So it's understanding those connections and helping us to live a better life, a more positive life, a life filled with more happiness and joy. So that's really spirituality, just a way of being and living.
Yeah, being connected to yourself. That way you can connect to others and the world around you and above and beyond the world, the moon even. Like he just mentioned, I'm almost going to do my own little question. Why do you believe in astrology? And that's always the example I give for that is, so if you think about it, if the moon is controlling, quote unquote, I think it's 92% of the earth, like it's the whole ocean,
water,
all the water, right? And we are even made up of how much water? True. I can't remember. Like
2/3.
Like mostly water, right? So once again, if the moon is controlling, have the energetic exchange between water and itself, then why don't we have any control over the moon or vice versa? Why don't we have an effect of our energy with that? And so anyway, so if it's doing that, then it has an effect on us, right? Just like all the other planets. Yeah. So if you know your chart, right, your rising, your moon, and your sun sign, all three are very important. You actually have 12 signs in your chart. So yeah, that's another question. What is astrology? Why would you believe in it, right? Because today's society kind of makes us believe that. It's only like basic girls who drink spice lattes.
They make it look bad. They make it look fake. But something that's crazy, most people don't know, but in our Indian culture, before people get married, a priest will literally look at the horoscope, literally astrology, the horoscope, and he compares and contrasts them to see, are these people the right match or what?
And they won't say you don't get married if you're not compatible, but it just helps you understand how you're going to deal with each other's emotions, right? The same thing can happen, but if someone has a Leo moon, which is fire, and someone has a Cancer moon, it's going to be a very different reaction. And the reason being is Cancer is deeper, it's more emotional, more sensitive, where the Leo is going to react more passionately about it. Yeah. So it's just understanding it.
We'll have to do another video on astrology too.
Sure.
That's her, definitely, she's amazing at that. I learn every single day.
Yeah, but you're good at it too.
The next one is how to manifest. I think we did one video on this in the beginning, but we'll cover it again briefly and why it's important, more importantly. What is manifesting? Manifesting is the idea to have something up in here in your mind and you make it come true. I feel like that's as easy as you can do.
That's it.
But I had an affirmation and manifested a nice life partner who wouldn't yell at me all the time. So it's nice.
I yell though, don't worry.
No.
Not all the time. But with that being said, to me, manifesting is obviously that, but we're always manifesting, whether you know it or not. Whether it's because you're self-sabotaging, whether it's because you have the best positive mindset out there, we are constantly manifesting. It's all about you think. If you think everyone around you makes you angry, I promise you, you are going to go in the ice cream shop that's going to make you pissed off, right? Versus if you believe that everyone around you makes you happy, you're going to go to that ice cream shop and you're going to have the best customer service there is. Like, we've seen it many times. And even let's say someone makes you mad, they can't, because you have a happy mindset and you know that's their journey, not yours. And you can, going back to spirituality aspect of it, once you're spiritual and you understand we're just having an experience and we're all on different journeys, it makes life a lot easier. It makes you a lot more able to have that positive mindset.
True. And a fun little social experiment we do to show you the power of manifesting is, okay, right now, wherever you are, turn around and look for everything in your environment to color red. Take a good 10 seconds. Anything red at all, memorize it.
I saw that red flashing down.
Memorize it. I hope you looked around. I hope you have it memorized. Now tell me, what did you see that was green? Good luck thinking of something, right? You might think of one or two things, but you can think of 10 things that are red. Whatever is going on in here is what you will find in real life. So we have to be careful what's going on up in here. As to the,
because you're going to be looking for it.
Exactly, and that's what you'll see. We have human beings have
we're
this.
We're
drawn to whatever we're thinking about. So why not just use that in our favor? Be drawn to like money and
happiness,
nice things, and
success.
I like nice scotch. I'm attracted to nice scotch.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the point of spirituality, manifesting, I think we answered this in the first question. What is it? It's just a way of living, right? So it's having a high standard for your life. We want people to be able to go out and say, I want to be happy in my life. I want to hit this goal. I want to be in a loving family, have this kind of career. All of that kind of feeds into the point of it, because if you know this so well, it's so easy for anything to come true. And
it's just knowing that you deserve it.
Yeah.
That's the other big piece of the puzzle with that is manifesting is you have a positive mindset, for one, because you know you deserve to be happy in life. That's why you can have it. And then once you see that positive aspect in almost everything you do, you'll start to have, I guess you could say, the actual physicality of that positive manifestation. So it's like you'll prove it to yourself. We don't have to prove it to you. Once you start changing to be happy, looking for that red and that green, once you want to look for the happiness because you know you deserve it, you'll start to see it. It will be reflected back to you. That's a promise. So your life will change for the better.
I always forget that. You always remind me that, certain people here anywhere don't have the positive mindset to believe that they deserve everything. That was a crazy revelation to me. I didn't know that people felt that way.
He was kind of raised in a culture that they kind of teach this, at a young age. In America, now they are because of the internet, but religions, most don't do that because they want to control you. And that's actually one of the questions later, so we'll get to that. But religions, a lot of times, they won't teach you to have a positive mindset. And I'm not saying religions are necessarily bad. You can use them for good.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of times, the more control and power there is, the more kind of negativity there is, right? People abuse power sometimes. But the point of this is that we're not taught this. And it's really sad. One of my biggest things in life, what I want to manifest would be teaching emotional intelligence to children at a young age, just be a program in every school. And
mine's funny. I always wanted to start an orphanage for kids and work with them. Emotional intelligence being part of it, but now we have a dream manifestation together.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it gets even more stronger when there's two people behind it.
Yeah. And we both wanted that in a life partner too.
Yeah.
So emotional intelligence is huge, and I know that they would teach not necessarily manifesting, but once you have that positive mindset, once you know subconsciously or consciously, you are now manifesting. Whatever you think and believe is your reality. Your belief is your reality. You can have one negative thought, but that thought does not define you unless you give into it. And then once you give into that red light, that red item you're looking for, it's gonna be everywhere, right? Versus, what about the green? What about the green lights? Start looking for those.
We like our green lights.
Yeah, green and red lights.
Good book.
Good book by Matthew McConaughey.
I think our next question is, why do we live out of ego when it is so easy to fall into earthly reality?
When it is, I guess.
When it is,
but
yeah.
I wrote that wrong. So, yeah. What are you saying?
It's just easy to live out of ego because that way you don't have to really think, I feel like. You don't have to go through the hard part of healing yourself and seeing things for what they are. It's so much easier to react, like, to the world. It just takes a lot of work, I feel like, to do the internal work. Most people run away from it. How many people joke about, I don't want to be alone with my thoughts? That scares me. How many people take drugs to avoid their inner thoughts, right?
Run from it somehow is what they're doing.
And when you're running from it, you're really going into ego. So when something happens, we go into ego before we do our thoughtfulness.
And reflection and all that. So to me, it's actually a lot easier to not be into ego. So, like he said, it's hard to most people. That's what they think. That's your belief. Your belief is your reality. So if you believe it's hard, it will be hard. I believe it's not hard. And why that is because I think I saw growing up so many people around me living out of ego that it definitely, I guess you can say, scared me to be like that. Like, I wanted to get deeper. I want to know, why are they doing these things? Why are they self-sabotaging? Like, I don't want to do that. And how you avoid that is to go deeper and see, because, once again, everyone else is on their own journey. What is it? Why is my journey, why is this happening to me when I can change it and have everything happen for me? Right? So I don't want to live out of ego. I want to go deeper beyond the surface. I don't want to react. I want to observe. All these little things that can very easily get you out of ego. Like, take a step back, trust the process, trust the universe. I promise things are happening for you, not to you.
True. I love how she called me out for my belief there. That's one of the best parts about being people who are spiritual, because you say these small things, and if someone's there to help catch you, it's awesome because you can fix a small belief. You're like, I didn't even know I was saying that. I love that. So hopefully you guys have that too. It could be a parent, it could be a sister, it could be someone. It's nice to take the spiritual journey together with someone too.
It is. I mean, I started alone, and I believe so did he.
Yeah.
But it's so much better when you are doing it with someone. But the best self-healing is alone.
True. That's very true.
It really is.
Other people can only make you aware, but the healing has to come from within.
Totally.
That's really all it is.
Okay. Next question.
Afraid of the unknown.
Oh, this was one right here.
Okay. Why aren't we taught spirituality? Well,
that can get pretty deep and intense.
It's hard for people to teach it because most people themselves aren't spiritual. To know them, to teach them material, you have to know it. It's hard for most people to be spiritual. I think most people I know in my life are not. Maybe less than 10 people I know are, but I learn the most from them out of anybody I've ever talked to.
True. And some people who are, they don't even know they are, right? And this goes back generations, kind of like I said about 5 minutes ago. We're not taught this because it's an easy way to be controlled and manipulated and everything that's negative. I believe that if we taught this, like emotional intelligence in school at an early age, just the graph of frequency, right? This is science. This isn't like just esoteric, spiritual, like weird, witchy, whatever you want to call it. Like, none of it is even that. We're just, once again, taught spirituality almost like tarot is, like cards. Like, it's evil, it's not good, it's, and they do this at a young age for a reason. Sure. Because once you're aware of how people make you feel on a scientific frequency level, shame, guilt, guess what? That control that we are all in would not be allowed. Like, we wouldn't allow it because we would be aware of it and we'd be like, wait a minute, as a group, as us all being spiritually connected, we'd be like, well, we can just live off the land. Like, they can take all these things away. Now I'm getting very deep and crazy into it, but this is just the truth. Like, we wouldn't be allowing people to make us feel anything lower than peace and love. Like, we just wouldn't. And then we would treat each other better. We would understand ourselves better. We would love the land more. I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
True.
But we're too easy to be controlled.
I mean, look at the people who have left the biggest mark in the world, right? I mean, Well, one example is Jesus, literally, right?
Yeah.
And we talk about religion. I personally think all religion starts from a good place, but people kind of corrupt it with how they want to control others. Another example is Gandhi. Another example is Martin Luther King Jr. All of these people are really spiritual leaders. If you think about it, they're teaching their followers a way of living. Gandhi talked about nonviolence, as did Martin Luther King Jr. Jesus talked about loving each other, right? Regardless of where you are, where you came from. I didn't read the Bible, but if I'm correct, I think he went to all sorts of places reputable people don't go into.
Yeah.
And he was still talking to everybody.
Yeah.
Right? These are all light workers. These are all spiritual people teaching a way of living.
Yeah.
And then that's all we're trying to live by. Hopefully one day we'll launch like an educational class for even kids, kids, adults, whatever, to learn these things on a step-by-step basis.
Yeah. So yeah, age 1 through 7 is typically where subconsciously we learn already. Like once you're taught this when you're 13, people are already weary of it, and like, because once again, religion has typically already like made that like level of shame and guilt. Like, no, we can't believe in that. That's weird. That's out there. Like, it's very not common. It's just weird, right? It's not.
It's different.
It's different.
And I don't think other religions like new things getting in their way of teaching. Because if the Christian church is going to tell you one way to live, they don't like competing things. No one has a monopoly on wisdom. We don't have a monopoly on wisdom.
No.
This religion doesn't. That religion. Nobody has.
They can't. All right.
They can't.
That's why.
We can all learn from so many different places. So go out, learn, live a good life, and keep growing.
Totally. Another little thing I like to say too is like, when Jesus was here, Buddha, any of these people, okay? Yeah. Like if someone else was writing, because it's all perspective, right? This is another thing you'll understand once you get spiritual. It's like, oh my gosh, my perspective has changed in so many different areas. But we also learn that other people have different perspectives. So when we're watching Jesus or Buddha while they're here on earth and we're writing it down, everyone's going to write it down a little bit different.
Yeah.
And then people are going to preach it different and teach it differently. And then it's been like, it's a game of telephone. Even though the Bible is, I'm not saying it's a very good way to live, but it just gets, misconstrued. And the people that even probably wrote it, like they have a different perspective than you and I. And this is once again, going back to the beginning, we are all just spiritual beings having human experiences. And that's all it is. That all it is being spiritual, is just being aware of yourself. That way you can be aware of how you treat others, being aware of how the spiritual realm feels and the difference in the earthly things. A bird, what I was saying in the beginning, could tell you a sign. Like once you're connected with yourself, you get gut feelings. You look this way, there's a bird. I mean, it sounds weird, but I promise the deeper you get, the more you'll be aware of all these things that are happening around us are happening for us. So
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's another nice episode. Let us know if you have more questions. We love to have a more of a genuine interaction.
Fun.
We don't. I like presentations, but I like talking to people as if they're in front of me more.
Yeah.
Whatever's more genuine. Yeah. But anyways, thank you for watching.
Yes, if you could like, subscribe, and share, we greatly appreciate it. Comment down below. Yeah. Let us know what you guys would like to hear next. Alrighty, next time.
Bye, guys.
Love. Namaste.